Okay, we're back on Project Going for Broke today. Today we're going to work on front and back brakes. Probably won't get to all of them because it's kind of late in the day. You don't need to jack up too high. You just need to get the wheel off to do the brake. You don't have to go to the moon. Ow. Alright, let's see what we can do today. Back a while ago, we replaced the hubs with brand new hubs, which actually worked out pretty well, and brand new nose to lock in due to funky circlips on them. And of course the tires have been all replaced. They probably got a third of their life left, so not too shabby. Alright, always with the safety. And the other tires went to the basement to keep them out of the elements for the winter. That way we got that under the truck. And I sat down wrong and my body is cracking and popping. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Don't know. Not a sponsor at all. In fact, nobody sponsors. Not complaining if they would, but I like to be able to say what I need to say. I looked at this last evening. This is how this showed up. The supposed special compound here. I'm guessing this is copper anti-seize, some form of it. It blew up in the box and it's all over the side of the brake pad, so I'll have to clean that. But it doesn't look like too bad of stuff. I don't know. They might be utter rubbish. I have no clue. Their axles were They do come sealed in a box. I would imagine they're coated to the hilt with oil. Most indubitably, these are drenched in machining oil or packaging oil or something. But yeah, keep them from rotting and rusting. That's never a good sign, folks. Yeah, that's not a good sign usually. So I will definitely have to spray these. Hey, what do you know? They fit like a gem, though. My cheap little tester's brush just snapped. That kind of pissed me off, but oh well. So you go ahead and you put a lug on for easy usage. Yeah, for just easy peasy usage. 19 millimeter for the socket, for the stud. And just tighten that by hand just to keep it in place. Okay, I would like to avoid getting that bronze copperish color stuff everywhere. So here's the pads. They are ceramic, surprise, surprise. I thought for sure they'd be metal or metallic or something, but luckily they are ceramic. I'm going to cut them open, and I pray and hope that we don't have any of that bronze. I'm guessing that's what it is like a bronze or copper coating stuff. There's one pair right there. Oh, they actually have them labeled Detroit Axle. Look at how snazzy that is. You know, I took this apart and I can't remember. The feeler goes on the inside. Thankfully, I left them in their actual housings. Boy, what a smart boy am I, huh? What a smart cookie am I. Well, okay. Hey, what do you know? You get everything with this thing. I'm impressed. And they seem to be of okay quality from what I'm seeing. I don't think they look too tacky bad. Okay, we will put the pads to the side for a moment. I always use my 1/2-inch breaker bar at this point. I want to make sure that, you know, brakes are exceedingly important, so yeah, the brakes are kind of an important part of your car. You don't want to screw that up. You know, I got 2 or 3 different nice torque wrenches downstairs, some really nice ones. I hardly ever bring them up here. What's the old adage? Give me a lever and I can move the world a long enough one. Well, these things work awesome, folks. I already put the other side back together. So the problem is rust jacking. Here in southeast Wisconsin, in the Midwest, we get lots of rust jacking. So here's what it is. You get rust right inside of here and here. I'm on the other side now. And you also get rust down inside the cups really bad. So I'm strapped here to help hold this. You'll notice that this is not being tensioned. It's nice and flexy. I went ahead and cleaned a little bit of the rust out. As you can see, it's down more to metal. Okay, as can be seen here. Sorry, air compressor. Here's one pin, here's the other. I put a light coat of anti-seize on those just to keep them from rotting in there. And then I had to use the OEM clip that came with the old pads, the OEM style, because Detroit Axle bent the clip backwards, so they're useless. The second one was a far more enjoyable experience. I used my wire brush right here, just a little bronze scratch wire brush. And then cleaned out the slide areas on each of these for the actual caliper itself, and it slid right in with much greater ease. The other side was a little snugger, but I'm not going to go rip it apart to do it. Okay, we're going to be starting on the back now. Sorry for the shaky camera work. So here's the back. This is where we're starting. I'm going to get right to it because it is dark. Alright, so we know that the front ones were 18s and the 19s for here, for the lugs, 18s for the actual bolt. Sorry for the noise, there's somebody working across the way. 15 milli, I believe, is what the size is on the back. I'll let you know if it's not. Yes, it's a 15 milli. I grab a 15 milli out of the garage. Sorry for the shaky camera, and I'll get right on this. Again, not a sponsor. I went with Auto Shack is the name of the product. It's a very low-end product, nothing fancy. So this is the back, what I call hi-hats rotors. They're like a one-in-all drum and rotor fused into one. I already anti-seized these and took them apart the other day in a different video, so all I have to do is anti-seize these, clean them, and put them back on. Again, sorry for the noise. There's somebody working across the way with some kind of a pressure washer, compressor going. I'm actually pretty impressed with these rotors, these hi-hats as I call them, because it's a drum and rotor, as I stated, it fused into one. Here's your back safety brake if you ever need to get in here. These are an absolute bear. I had to actually put two back in that were missing. They are a bear. You can see them right there. Now you'll notice there's nothing wrong with these pads per se on here. That's why I never thought I would change any of this stuff. But I'm getting a horrible surging throughout the braking system, and I'm guessing it's from the PO, previous owner, and the huge tires that they ran. So because of those gigantic tires and the weight of them, they were 90 to 100 pounds a piece. I am betting that they warped these rotors or overheated them at some point. Okay, you'll notice you have to take this bolt and this bolt off of here, so this would normally be facing the back side. You have to remove those in order to be able to do this, otherwise you'll never get the pads off. I've always seen other YouTube videos show how to do the fronts, but never the backs. And the backs are actually very different compared to the fronts. Sorry for the camera angle, and again the noise, because the neighbors are having work done. Okay, whoever did the last brake change on this did not grease these, so they're fused in there. I had to rip that one out, so I'm going to quick grease them up. Those are the actual plungers or the pivot points that allow it to move to go in and out. Okay, all greased up a little bit of anti-seize. That'll keep them from seizing in there. And we'll now put some new pads on. Real quick FYI, make sure you put this horseshoe piece on first that establishes these pads in place. Otherwise, you'll never get that piece on. And again, those who may wonder and say, hey, why all the anti-seize and grease and stuff? Because again, in the rust belt here in the southeast of Wisconsin, it will literally rust within hours of putting it on from the calcium chloride and the salt. If it isn't painted or plated in some way or greased, it will rust. Double check all your hardware, make sure everything's aligned properly. Make sure you don't turn your pad inside out. My first pad I had inside out. I had to verify that by taking it apart, and that's the reason why it wouldn't go on originally. So thank God for placement and that it wouldn't let me put it on wrong. As I said, I've never done this before, these back ones. I've done multiple times on the front over the years for my 07, which I affectionately call Happy Hummer. But for this going for broke GFB project, I've never done these on either vehicle, so this was a learning curve for me. They seem very nice. I actually like the backs better than I like the fronts. They're much easier to do. And why don't you guys run right down onto that comment section there, and while you're there, not to shill, maybe hit the subscribe or the like if you see what you see and you like it. Great. If you don't, hey, that's cool. Give us a comment. What do you think? Do you put on anti-seize or grease or some kind of silicone or silica-based stuff, or what else would they have? Different types of products that are out there on the gels and whatnot to protect your pins and slides and whatnot. Let me know down in the comment section. Sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly, it materializes in your brain goes, you don't actually need to take apart the horseshoe part. You can leave that on there. It just dawned on me that, yeah, that's only applicable if you're just doing pads. But I'm doing the rotor, so you're definitely going to have to pull the horseshoe part off too, this mounting portion for the caliper. So you'll notice I'm taking my whole mount off and the caliper portion off because I want to get these rotors off, and then I'm going to put the new rotor on also. Okay folks, first thing right here, this is seized in here, so whoever did this last brake job for this previous owner before I bought this truck, it's literally fused inside. I'm going to try to get it out. I may end up messing this up though. Here are the rotors and what I would refer to as the hybrid rotor drum hi-hat from Going for Broke. I'm going to show you these. These are in pretty rough shape. So the previous owner said that they had the brakes done, but clearly you can see how bad these rotors look. Yeah, you can just see it. There's literally scratches and cracks and stuff in them. So yeah, they're beat up. They're all that way. So here's the job finished. All the wheels are back on. Nothing fancy to see. All the brakes have been done. I have yet to take it on a test drive.